Wearing exactly the same clothes. This is part 2 of how much food can I grow fall harvest video. The second half of everything that I grew in September in my backyard garden. If you're new here, I'll leave a link here to the entire How Much Food Can I Grow series if you want to watch it all from the beginning. I'm just trying to see how much food I can grow in my backyard garden. Keeping track of everything. So let's keep going and see what was the rest of the stuff that came out in September. This coriander has been drying out here all by itself. I'm just gonna pick it and put it in this paper bag so that I capture all these little things, and then I will break off all the seeds. I'm gonna take the best looking seeds for coriander and I'll grind them up for ground coriander. This was cilantro and now it's coriander. Coriander. This is the saddest looking bok choy I think I've ever done. I still have some in the garden making seeds for next year. We just didn't eat a lot of bok choy this year. I'm impressed that the plants kind of made these side shoots of bok choy after they went to seed. I find that if I freeze it, it's perfectly good in stir fries later. So that's probably what I'm gonna do because we have so many other things going on right now. Wash it up and freeze it. Bok choy, 1 pound and 11 ounces of bok choy. Every day there's a few more ground apples picked up from the yard. Some of them are small and they'll be a little bit tart, but I'm thinking about an apple ground cherry crisp. 4 pounds, 4 ounces. Okay, 4 pounds, 4 ounces. These ones look really nice. This one tree, they're softer apple, like they're good for applesauce, but they always get ready faster than the second tree. And we're gonna pick some raspberries that are getting ready. Yummy. We had some really tall ones that broke in a big windstorm that we had, but we still got lots left. Yummy raspberry season. I am going to pick what I can off the ground. These ground cherries. And weigh them up. Literally, you just have to look around and they're laying all over the ground, which is why I suspect they're called ground cherries. Yay! First I'm gonna like husk these ground cherries. I guess that's the right word. Husk them, wash them up, and then weigh them. They're just beautiful little ground cherries inside these husks, like tomatillos, only fruitier. They're so awesome. I love them. I just decided to sit outside and husk these ground cherries, or I think they're called husk berries or something as well. And I just have to say, sitting here, the wafting aroma is definitely pineapple. Like they smell exactly like pineapple. You stick your face in this bowl and all you smell is pineapple. Yeah, it's like exactly pineapple. I wouldn't say they taste exactly like pineapple, but right now they smell exactly like pineapple. I'm gonna weigh these first and then wash them up and freeze them. 11 ounces of ground cherries. We have a few squashes coming in because the plants dried from the powdery mildew, but we didn't get too many. I've got this one pumpkin. It's like the universe knew that I didn't want any more pumpkin. But I've got some Hubbard squashes out there too, which are quite huge. But this is this one lovely pumpkin. Let's see how much it weighs. That is 3.5 pounds. You said 2.5 pounds.
I guess 2.5.
It was close. 3.5 pound pumpkin. That's our only pumpkin. These ones are called Buttercup, and they usually do really well in our garden. 2 pounds, 10 ounces. And a smaller one. Buttercup. 2 pounds, 2 ounces. Hey, what do you know? It looks like we have a ripe cantaloupe, even though it is fairly small. I don't have much luck picking the cantaloupe, but this one just fell off, so we're gonna check it. It looks like it's orange in there. I don't know, I've heard things where you smell the ends. The end smells like a cantaloupe. 1 pound, 2 ounces of cantaloupe. And more raspberries. 7 ounces of raspberries. They're slow and steady, the raspberries. So the birds are really getting at our corn. I don't mind when they take one little nibble here and there, but they're really taking a lot of cobs of my favorite corn. So I'm pretty unhappy about it. There's still a lot of young corn in here. So I think what we're gonna do is kind of chop the tops off of these, look at these corn. We've lost so much. I pulled them off of here. They didn't fall down or anything. I just got angry. Pulled off all the corn that's been eaten. I think we're gonna drape some bird netting over this and see if we can let these ones that just aren't quite ready yet. We'll see what we can save. I mean, they're going hard at all these cobs. Dang birds. We are just gonna take these tomatoes down. There are so many and we have plans. We're just gonna do it absolutely all, and it's too late in the season to have more tomatoes start growing. We're gonna completely take out these tomatoes and these tall tomatoes too that are growing up. I've got red tomatoes coming off. They look beautiful, but then I'm also picking these green ones as well. I'm just gonna put them in a separate container area. Even if they're small, they're coming off. All the green ones. I feel like this is gonna fill up really fast. I think these ones that are partly orange will definitely turn orange quickly if I leave them in with these other ones that are ripe. They all look so very good. There's one with a little bit of a hole in it. I should have a separate bowl for those. So I've done basically this whole plant. I've picked all of them off, and this is how many tomatoes I have. Basically one whole plant, a couple of little like ones that aren't great, and a couple of rotty ones. But I think I'm in trouble. I planted less Romas this year because I had way too many. Last year, I feel like I have a long way to go. So I did this one plant, and I've got all these plants to do. Oh, so many tomatoes. Can you just lift it up and down? It's right at 11 pounds, 1 ounce. It went all the way around. Huh, almost perfectly.
Is that one plant?
That's from one plant. That's 11 pounds, almost 11 pounds exactly. Well, that's all the red ones from one plant.
Let's weigh the green ones.
Those are the red ones. All the green ones from that same plant is 5 pounds. 5 pounds of green tomatoes. green Romas. All right, we've done 2 plants and we've got a whole bunch more tomatoes to weigh. That is 8 pounds, 14 ounces. £8 3 ounces. We are making our way. More green tomatoes and some more red tomatoes. £9 2 ounces. And a whole bunch more green tomatoes. £5 8 ounces. Let's weigh up these ones. I think the further back we got in the garden, the smaller the tomatoes got and the fewer the tomatoes on each plant were, because the ones at the front got the most sun. But that's £6 8 ounces. And more. £7 6 ounces. More green tomatoes. 14 ounces. Tried to keep separate all of the tomatoes that I would, like to use sort of right now, and we'll weigh those. £2 7 ounces of use right now tomatoes. That is all the Romas out of that bed. I've got to pick the Romas on this plant in the 3 by 11 foot bed. I'm going to pick the 2 or 3 Romas that are in this grow bag, and that'll be it for that bag. We'll harvest the tomatoes that sad, lonely plant made. These are all the tomatoes out of the 3 by 11 foot bed. More tomatoes. They look pretty good. It's £5 2 ounces. Out of the 3 foot 11 garden bed. I gotta write it on the main page too. And the green ones out of there. £1 of green tomatoes, green Roma tomatoes out of that bed. £1. Okay, my grow bag tomato plant tried to persist despite the fact that I completely neglected it, and it was hard to keep it watered with the heat waves we were having. It just dried out so fast, but it made 2 tomatoes and some green tomatoes too. Let's weigh them up. 3.5 ounces. I'm gonna give it to the ½ ounce for the grow bag. September Romas, 3.5 ounces. These green ones, 13 ounces. We're out here in the 3 by 11 foot bed. I'm going to take out the radishes that look like they are good. Look at that's a beautiful radish. Oh, look at that one. We're going to pull them all out right here in this 3 by 11 foot bed. Radishes. These are my beets. Nice little beet greens, hopefully in a couple weeks. So there were quite a few radishes in the 3 by 11 foot bed from my second planting of radishes. Zeroed it again. 11 ounces of radishes. 11 ounces of radishes. I'll put it on the main list too. 11 ounces of radishes. Be a main salad. So we got this Hubbard squash. It's very small, but the vine it was on was totally dead. So we'll grab that one. It is £2 11 ounces. Hubbard squash. We did rescue some more golden jubilee corn from the birds, and wasps are going at them too. All right, corn that we managed to save from the disaster. £4 10 11 ounces of golden jubilee corn. That corn had a rough start. It took 3 plantings to get that corn to grow this year, and so it's really late, and it seems like all the birds are after seeds. It's a bit disappointing. I don't know, it looks like we've got like 10 pounds of corn maybe. Not a lot. All right. Oh, crow. Now we're gonna go after these ones, and the same thing. We're gonna take all of the tomatoes off. Some of them look like they're a little past perfect, so they'll end up in the compost, but red ones, green ones, everything, it's all coming down. Okay, we cleared out, oh! We cleared out all the tomatoes just in time, but we haven't weighed them yet, so let's get them weighed up. We've got Super Fantastic and Almer's Money Makers to weigh up. Some that I want to use right away, some that look pretty good, and a bunch of green ones, and all those green ones back there too. So they didn't do as well as the Romas, definitely. Yay, the tomatoes are down. 10 pounds, 2 ounces of green tomatoes. Whoa, whoa, it's going for a swim. More green tomatoes. 5 pounds, 7 ounces. I just had one vine that only made little tiny tomatoes, and the vine like basically kind of died after that. We're not going to use these ones for canning, but we'll weigh them and use them for eating. 14 ounces. I've got a whole bowl of things that I want to use up right away. 8 pounds, 14 ounces. I've got to use these tomatoes right away. These are the nicest Money Maker and Super Fantastic tomatoes that we could find. And we got 6 pounds, 3 ounces. Some more melons out of the garden. Watermelon, 4 pounds, 13 ounces. I hope that it's ready. And another little tiny cantaloupe looks ready. Exactly 1 pound cantaloupe. 1 pound cantaloupe. Oh, apples are falling every day. And more apples every time you look. We went away for a week and look how big the zucchinis are. There's this one and this one over there. Take down any more corn we can get and pull down these squashes. Two more patty pans in here. And we'll have to pull off the last of these cherry tomatoes. We'll probably take the squashes out of here too. They're looking like they're done. Quite a few of these volunteer type squashes. And I did get one green zucchini off this other plant. These are the 2 big zucchinis that come out of the 3x11 foot raised garden bed. They're quite big. That is a giant zucchini. 8 pounds, 10 ounces from this raised garden bed. Those are also zucchini up there. I gotta add all this stuff up. 4 pounds, 10 ounces. And we did get this green zucchini from another plant in the main part of the garden. That's 1 pound, 9 ounces. That's, I think, all of the zucchini. Another, I think, very ripe cantaloupe. Very small. Only 14 ounces cantaloupe. This is our squash haul this year. Other than that one pumpkin, look at how weirdly this Hubbard grew. So strange. A few acorn squashes, some butternut squash. This spaghetti squash might turn yellow, but I'm not sure about it. It looks like it's got a little bit of color on it, and so it might turn spaghetti squash. Usually we get a ton of spaghetti squash, but we only got these this year. These are hybrid. Sometimes I call them cubbers because I think that they're buttercups and Hubbard mixes. They don't last very long in storage, that's for sure. Oh, here is the last buttercup that came off. That's a true buttercup off the trellis. But these ones are all some kind of hybrid version of things. Here are our acorn squashes that we grew. That one is exactly 2 pounds. 2 pounds. And another one, 1 pound, 11 ounces. And a little tiny one. He is just 1 pound. That is not a bad size spaghetti squash. It's just not very yellow. 5 pounds, 10 ounces. And this really smaller one, 1 pound, 5 ounces. Not bad, it's a little squash. I'm so happy with these butternuts. I've tried to grow butternuts for a couple of years and I've never ended up with a butternut squash. So I'm pretty excited that we got 2 this year. 4 pounds, 12 ounces. 4 pounds, 12 ounce butternut. That's not bad. And the smaller guy coming in at 3 pounds, 11 ounces. This is our last buttercup. They've got a nice bottom to them. It's like they have their own stand. Pretty cool. Our last buttercup, 1 pound, 12 ounces. Let's squeeze it in here. So we grow Hubbard squash and we grow buttercup. So we call these hybrid squashes cupboard squashes. This one looks a little bit more like a buttercup. This one looks a little bit more like a Hubbard, but has clearly a buttercup bottom to it. More orange squash. I haven't noticed that they're that much different. This one has the green color of the buttercups. Yeah, but still the gray spots of the Hubbard. So we don't mind these ones. They taste pretty good and they grow just fine. This little guy, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. 2 pounds. £1 pound, 9 ounces. This really weird shaped one did pretty good at 6 pounds, 13 ounces. £5 pounds, 1 ounce. This very cool one looks like it has barnacles on it. So cool. A lot like a Hubbard. 5 pounds, 5 ounces. Cupboard squash. And the biggest cupboard squash in the garden is 7 pounds, 13 ounces. These are our Hubbard squashes for this year. It's not our biggest squash ever, but it is pretty big. The Hubbards are always impressive. This one looks ridiculously wonky. I don't know what happened. 10 pounds, 3 ounces. So this Hubbard here is too big for this scale and it's too big for this scale. So we're gonna try it with our normal weigh scale. Oh, now I can't see. 13 pounds, 2 ounces of Hubbard squash. I do have all of these unripe. They may not ripen. This one certainly probably won't ripen, but I'm gonna put them in a sunny window anyways and see if we can get them to turn a color. There we go. Unripe butternut. 3 pounds, 9 ounces. Here's the last of our very small corn harvest. The ones that the birds didn't eat. Our last corn. 3 pounds, 12 ounces. Definitely was not a great corn year. And we went out and picked some more raspberries. 10 ounces of raspberries. 10 ounces. So I was just looking online and it says at Save On Foods, which isn't always the cheapest. It's $5.99 for 170 grams. And this is about like 285 grams. It's $6 for 170 grams. Yeah, and this is like 280 grams. So that would be $9.87 to buy just that amount of raspberries at the store today. Look at all the more ground cherries we got too. I'm going to leave these ones in their skins. They will continue to ripen inside, but some of them are very green and I don't want to freeze them just yet. So I'm going to put them in a shallow box in a sunny window. But for now, we're going to weigh them. They don't weigh very much. This is not very satisfying. 11 ounces of ground cherries. That was the same as last time. How weird is that? And I picked the last of the cherry tomatoes. These are the sort of not ripe, greeny, orangey looking ones. That's exactly 1 pound. These are the last of the red cherry tomatoes. Some of them split like instantly as I was picking them. So we'll eat these right away. 2 pounds, 5 ounces. I gotta say, we had just an awful cucumber year. So I don't really know what happened, but we didn't get hardly any, like really no pickles. And then these kind of weird looking long English, but we'll weigh them up. This will be great. We'll make our last Greek salad of the season. 2 pounds, 15 ounces of long English cucumbers. 2 pounds. Such a bad year for cucumbers. Here's a few pickling cucumbers. I'm not going to make pickles out of them to can. I will make some refrigerator pickles out of these ones. These are the best pickles of the year. 1 pound, 14 ounces of pickling cucumbers. And while we were pulling the vines out of the bed, we found another Hubbard squash. 3 pounds, 13 ounces. I call it a cupboard because it was in the same bed as those other volunteer squashes, but it did look a lot like like the buttercups, but it doesn't really matter. There they are. Picked up some green peppers. This looks like a beauty. Some really nice green peppers, I think, coming out of the garden. They don't have much time before we get frost, but this will make nice Greek salad. And this beauty orange one, we hardly ever have time for peppers to turn orange. It's got a little mark on it. We'll throw that in the salad. Could be orange sun. We're just gonna call them all green peppers. What have we got? It's 1 pound, 6 ounces. Green peppers. I don't know how it's exactly the same all the time. 1 pound, 6 ounces. There we go. And we picked a few more watermelons. This one we thought was maybe ripe because it had kind of a yellow spot on it and it felt sort of hollow. And then this one just fell off the vine and it's tiny, but it feels like it's soft. So we're gonna cut that one open. And this one just seems done too because the vine is totally dead. So we got these 3 watermelons. The first one, 2 pounds, 8 ounces. I'm gonna try to eat this little tiny watermelon. 7 ounces of watermelon. I wonder if there's watermelon in there. 7 ounces of tiny watermelon. And the last little watermelon, I'm pretty sure he's ready. 2 pounds, 1 ounce. Our broccoli plant is still making some pretty nice broccoli. Yum, yum. Ounces of broccoli plus 10 ounces of broccoli. So easy to get distracted and not record. So I'm gonna record this lone green bell pepper that I grabbed for making some salsa. And it is 8 ounces, an 8-ounce green pepper. It's actually not a bad little green pepper, 8 ounces. Okay, this is my September garden harvest sheet, and as you can see, I've just written everything down, so I have to go through this and add up all those numbers. If you feel like checking my math later, feel free. I'm gonna do my best here to record everything that came out in September. Okay, I went through all of the stuff that we harvested. I feel like the video is just a mix and match of just constant harvesting, recording, harvesting, recording. I'm gonna edit it the best that I can. It's just, September was a huge month, and we got a lot out of the garden. And so I've gone through and I've consolidated everything, added up all the amounts that I recorded by hand when we were weighing things. We didn't do nearly as well in our bush beans this year as we normally do. The cherry tomato harvest was pretty excellent. 10 pounds of cherry tomatoes. Again, the cucumbers were miserable this year. I haven't started really weighing. We've got 3 pounds of green peppers, but there's more coming in. The corn, 30 pounds of corn wasn't exceptional. We got 106 pounds of potatoes. That was excellent. 29 pounds of zucchini, some other things, 23 pounds of beets. Overall, all the tomatoes, 128 pounds of tomatoes. That is excellent. The carrots haven't come out yet. That's gonna be a big one. Oh gosh, the onions were disappointing. The peppers, I haven't started really weighing. Patty pans, apples, I haven't started weighing, but we've already got 15 pounds out. Green onions, there's still tons in the garden. I didn't really care about bok choy this year. I just wasn't eating it very much. Raspberries, not many. Ground cherries, 1 pound. Kohlrabi, 12 pounds of kohlrabi, 4 pounds of patty pans. We'd had some in previous months too. The cabbages were disappointing. I don't even know what they were doing or what they were trying to grow, but cabbages were so weird this year. All my spices, and then the 93 pounds total of all of my squashes put together. So like 100 pounds of squash, that's not bad. I need to get it like frozen or canned up, but they do last for quite a while in the house. These cupboards, they actually don't last very long in storage, so that 34 pounds has to get eaten up right away. I'm so impressed with my butternuts that I grew this year. That's unusual. And then melons did well. 2 pounds of cantaloupe, 9 pounds of watermelon, and I still see some more that I have to weigh up out there. You know, tomatoes were great, and potatoes did just kind of how we would expect them to do. That's about what we grow, but I've already harvested some too, some potatoes. So actually it was a pretty good year for potatoes. In August, we harvested like 13, 14 pounds of potatoes. So this is really excellent, actually. 120 pounds of potatoes out of the garden total, maybe. That's stellar. And I have 507 pounds, 262.6 ounces, which equals 16 pounds, 6.6 ounces, for a grand total of 523 pounds, 6.6 ounces for the month of September. That is awesome. We still have a lot coming up in October that we're weighing, and that'll add to it too. Let's look at how the raised bed did. In September, in the 3x11 foot raised bed, I got 27 pounds of zucchini, 11 pounds of Roma tomatoes, 6 pounds green onions, 11 ounces of radishes, for a total of 45 pounds, 11 ounces for September, which brings the total for the raised bed to 81 pounds, 11 ounces total out of the raised bed. That's almost hitting 100 pounds. That's not bad. There's still some dry beans to come out. And I think I still have radishes or something coming out of there in October. I have to clean up this grow bag because these Romas and these green onions were also in September. Let me just tidy that up. Okay, for the grow bag, we had Romas, 1 pound, 8.5 ounces of Romas, 5 ounces of green onions. So for September, we got 1 pound, 13.5 ounces out of the grow bag. We had previously had 2 pounds, 13.3 ounces. So the total for the grow bag so far is 4 pounds, 10.8 ounces. And I don't even care about it. So it's doing pretty good. That's all in the main totals already, so I just wanted to total that up too. When you add the 523 pounds, 6.6 ounces, which does include the harvests from the raised bed and from the grow bag already, and when you add it to the 173 pounds that we had so far at the end of August, it brings our running total to 696 pounds and 9 ounces at the end of September. That's like 700 pounds. I don't know if I have another 300 pounds, but I haven't weighed the apples yet, or some big stuff like all the leeks. What else is big? The crab apples. I don't know if I have 300 pounds left in the garden. Next video, the last video of my How Much Food Can I Grow series, will include all the harvests for October, as well as totaling up all the amounts for the harvest starting in June, July, August, September, and October to come up with our grand total amount of how much food did I grow in my backyard garden. I guess it'll be like garden close up, final harvest, final tallies, final garden harvest amounts. If you enjoyed my very haphazard, I was mostly concerned about making sure that I caught the harvests, that I was recording absolutely everything that was coming out of the garden, and it was just a constant harvest here for September. So I did the best that I could. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can click my face to see more gardening videos as well as other videos. I'll leave a link to the entire How Much Food Can I Grow series, as well as anything else that you might be interested in. And I will see you guys next time.